Hello. Today's presentation is a continuation of our glove category, where today we will be focusing more on all of the synthetic gloves that we offer in our product line. Mark?
Thank you, Danny. So to start, synthetics are man-made products. So basically starts usually with a nylon knit or a polyester knit glove formed to your hands, and then with some kind of dip on it, giving you a high dexterity option. So what, first of all, from a knit point of view, do we need to look at? You need to know about whether or not it's made of polyester or made of nylon or a combination of nylon with lycra. Each one of these components have different properties. So let's talk about polyester first. Polyester is the cheapest option. It is an option that you can buy you have to buy in big volume because it costs a lot of money to dye. So if you're buying it in white, you can get it pretty cheap, but if you buy it in any kind of color, you have to buy it in a large volume in order to get it. And then depending on what you put on the palm, it'll give you more than likely the least expensive option in that kind of palm dipping. The problem with nylon is that it doesn't have great memory. So what that means is the elasticity of the product, whether it be mechanical or naturally within the fiber itself, is not very good. So as you wear this glove, it will continually lose its shape. And so over a period of time, depending on the quality of the polyester, eventually that glove will not fit your hand very well. So longevity is an issue with a polyester-based knit. And then if you go to a nylon-based knit, that is kind of the next step up, and it has very good memory, but it is more expensive, and to the tune of probably about 50% more expensive. So a nylon-based knit glove will cost more than a polyester knit glove, but it will have a longer longevity. It'll have a longer life because it has better memory. It'll come back to the same shape over and over and over again. So from a base point of view, those are the two most important ones. You also have a polyester cotton, which is a standard knit as well in the industry. All of these items are basically washable. Usually can come back like brand new after they've been washed. And let's start looking at some of the examples. Okay, sure. So first, let's start with that. This particular glove is a polyester base knit glove. So it's an economy glove, and it is got a dip on it, which is polyurethane. Polyurethane offers a 360-degree breathability. So in that meaning, basically in a synthetic, usually the issue that you have with a synthetic is that your hands get sweaty and stuff like that. But because this glove breathes 360 degrees, in other words, the polyurethane breathes, your hands do not come as sweaty. And so you lose that argument about gloves getting sweaty and sticky inside and stuff like that. So it is good from that point of view. The longevity of the glove is not that great, only because, number one, polyurethane is not a very abrasive resistant product. It offers huge high dexterity because of the really, really fine touch that it has. But the material itself, when used in an abrasive environment, will wear down pretty quick.
So what does abrasive environment mean, or abrasive resistant?
Well, just think of handling sandpaper, okay? Anything that has any kind of a texture to it, if you're handling it day in, day out, even a cardboard box, as you slide your hand around the cardboard box, there's wear and tear involved. And so the more abrasive it is, the other extreme could be a brick. So fine sandpaper to a brick, there you have, say a cardboard box to a brick, those are two different extremes of abrasiveness. And obviously it'll wear out faster if you're handling a brick than if you're handling a cardboard box. But in the case of a PU glove, it's really meant for fine work, like electronics, or a guy who's like an electrician and he needs to handle the wires and stuff like that. So just a little bit of protection to your hand, offering you the abrasion resistance and the touch. And other areas you might find this glove interesting is in a place where they cannot transfer, for instance, the oils from your fingers. And you need to touch things that are sensitive, like, again, back to the electronics, where that kind of transfer can really affect the performance of an electronic component. You'll use a polyurethane glove.
So polyurethane, for those who didn't maybe understand the subtlety, we also refer to it as PU. When we say a PU glove, we mean a polyurethane glove.
That's right. So in this case, it's made of nylon. It is an economy glove. We consider it to be a one-day glove in a lot of instances, and but it is what we call a grade A glove. There's no defects in this glove. It is made per our spec. It's always black, and they're available in sizes extra small to double extra large.
Not to be confused with the grade A when we refer to leather. In this case, we're saying grade A meaning a front, perfect product, a product that is manufactured correctly, that there aren't any mistakes. So what would be a different type of grade, Mark?
Well, grade B is exactly what you have in your hand, Danny. So our manufacturer in Pakistan that we do business with a great deal is one of the biggest manufacturers of PU gloves in the world. And consequently, they create a great deal of what we call grade B category gloves. So what you have here is actually, to some degree, a better glove than the grade A in that it has a nylon base. So it's made to be a more expensive glove, but because there's a minor defect in this particular style of glove, we are able to offer it at a better price than we do our grade A. And the issue that you'll find is the consistency from one pair to the next. What is that defect? Usually it's imperceptible. It has maybe to do with, and I'll look at your hand here, Danny, and see if I can find it. You can see how maybe the PU here is not covering, is covering in a spot where it's not supposed to cover, in between the knuckles.
Or also the lining here, there's a thread.
No, in that particular case, here's a good, and it's a good point. They do not dip gloves, knitted gloves that have defects. So it is never in the knit.
So it's always in the dip.
Always in the dip. So if your hand is turned, if the hand gets turned a little bit when it's dipping so the palm is not quite covered, or there's an extra dip on the back of the hand because it dripped on it, they're really imperceptible defects in here. This is a glove that offers enormous value, because if you need a PU glove, there's not going to be another PU glove in the marketplace that's less expensive than this that is nylon based. So good memory, you can go back to this glove over and over again in the knit. It's going to be more comfortable, it's going to breathe better because nylon breathes better than polyester. And the only issue is, of course, that the PU might have a compromise to some point. And usually it has nothing to do, it'll have no effect on the durability of the glove.
So the only difference between a grade A and a grade B is that a grade B there's a mistake in the dip. So the glove is in good shape, but when they put it in for the dip, mechanically of course, not real human hands, when they dip it into the polyurethane, the PU, it might be twisted, there might be a drop, there might be missing some PU, whatever, but most of the time, 9 out of 10 times, even more, you won't even notice a difference. And as a matter of fact, it's a great selling tool, correct me if I'm wrong. When you're in front of a client and you're presenting grade Bs, you grab a bag of 12 and you show them to the client and you say, here, this is an example of grade B. And by looking at them, he'll see, as you can notice, sir, it's not perceptible to the naked eye unless you know what you're looking for. And perhaps you're able to point out one where you see a difference. But in no way or shape does it compromise the quality of the glove or its usage.
The one area that is somewhat problematic is most organizations that we sell to want to have consistency in the color, or in the color of the banding. Now understand, these are seconds that are they made per spec for different for different importers around the world. So the color banding chart for XYZ company in Brazil won't necessarily be the color banding chart as XYZ company in the United States. And so the color of the banding does not necessarily correspond to the size of the glove. So it could be a different color. The other thing is, because we're buying all of their grade Bs, or as much as we can get our hands on, the color of the glove itself may change as well. We try to bring in, as much as possible, all black. The most popular color is all black. But we do, as you can see here, this is a gray, all gray. We do it in all gray. And every once in a while, if we're stuck where we don't have, for instance, a size medium, and they only have all white available, or a different color like that, we will go with a different color, so we maintain an inventory to satisfy our clients. So here's an example of a PU glove in a grade A, but we've made it into a retail item. So white, and it's retail in that it is geared towards the painting industry. The retail tag on there fits into our painting program and its color scheme, and it says right on the glove, painter's glove. So Traditionally, painters have always used a really cheap cotton glove. Runs about 50 cents a pair, has absolutely no dexterity whatsoever, but it kept their hands clean when they're doing their painting and stuff like that. This has taken over all of that business. 360-degree breathability. If the paint falls on there, it doesn't penetrate through to your hand, or at least most of the time, unless you're dipping your hand in a bucket of paint. And it's branded with our Wear It name. And understand that this particular product, and most high dexterity gloves, can be branded for our clientele. The private branding is available, and it's a high quality heat transfer that's put on here, and we will, at no extra charge, if you were to take your price list and take your prices for any one of these high dexterity gloves, you can add that logo at no extra charge as long as they meet the MOQ, the minimum order quantity. The minimum order quantity is fairly significant in these gloves. So what do is we'll reduce the minimum for them to buy overseas. Say for the sake of argument, it's 1,000 dozen or 2,000 dozen. 12,000 pairs, 24,000 pairs is a lot of gloves. But if we piggyback their requirement on top of what we're already buying, they could buy as little as 200 dozen, 2,400 pair, and get their name on it, which is, when you're dealing with a glove that costs basically 75 cents, that's a really good value. So.
And that's very important because gloves are always used as a promotional item in these in the industry. So they're always given out, sometimes in draws, sometimes as add-ons, or they're just, one of your clients will want to have their name on the glove. It's a good marketing tool for them because the guys are wearing it, guys and girls are always wearing it. So the fact that they have their name on it is very important. So it's a great selling feature. You can offer that to your client. It's, we're talking about this glove here, but we offer that pretty much for all of our gloves. There are a few exceptions where there are no availability to put an actual logo on it, but for the vast majority we offer it. So, don't be shy, inquire about it and promote it as best as possible.
Thank you. So the next glove is an interesting glove in that it's got some added value features that you don't see very much in the marketplace. Most of these items tend to be commodity-based items, and for that reason they use basic products, basic ingredients. Here we have a glove where we've increased the value in two ways. Number one, it is a nylon-based knit, but we've introduced a little bit of Lycra into it. And what Lycra does, just like a bathing suit material, it has enormous memory. It has elasticity, so when you put it on your hand, it is super form-fitting. So here you have a glove that form-fits to your hand perfectly, and we've added the feature of latex foam. Just like our winter gloves that have the latex foam, this also is a latex foam, so a spongy latex material, and the combination of that elasticity of the nylon / Lycra component with the latex foam offers a tremendously comfortable and very high dexterity product. So a very interesting product, not expensive, runs about $1.25 a pair, $1.35 a pair, in that range, depending on volume and sizing and US dollar and Canadian dollar. But it'll offer some high visibility as well, so and retail setup. So it's got the nice, it's part of our gripper line. So the ice gripper, this is the summer gripper, actually a very popular item in the market. So a more economical model of a latex glove is this one. This is a polyester cotton knit. So polyester cotton is a little heavier. It absorbs perspiration a little bit more. So guys who like to have that feeling of the perspiration being absorbed into the glove rather than staying with a clammy feeling in your hands, that offers that possibility. And in the palm, it's just a single latex, a single smooth finish of latex. So if you open this up, Danny, and look at the palm, you can see that there's no texturization. It's a single dip. It is an economy glove for under $1. You get a nice quality glove that will last a long time and will be comfortable in sizes and at a good price. So a good value glove for the market. This is an interesting product for retail because it's offered in a 6-pack. So instead of one glove for $4.99, you actually can offer a 6-pack for, say for the sake of argument, $9.99. And so the value to the client, if they have contractors coming through, they can recognize that as good value and end up winning some business that way. So the next glove is the economy version of the nitrils. So what makes it economy? Well, we start first of all with the knit, which is a polyester knit. So same idea, polyester being the cheapest, black being the the most popular, and we basically have a single dip smooth nitrile. This is as inexpensive a dip as you can get in the marketplace. And it's the funny part about it is because it's such a basic glove, it is actually one of the more durable gloves in terms of abrasion resistant. The nitrile itself, there's no additives like foam and things like that. It actually offers a good durability, good abrasion resistant. The downfall with smooth nitrile is that when it does become oily or greasy or wet, it can get a little bit more slippery. So polyester back, nitrile palm in a dry application, one of the most durable out there. Good value for the marketplace. We're evolving this glove into being a pack of 10 for retail purposes. Sometime in the spring you will see that offer being out there. You will see it in a pack of 10 in the black as you see it there.
And these are all A grades. We don't have any B grades except the one that we mentioned as the second one.
Yeah, unless specified, they're all A grades. They're all inspected overseas to be consistent from one pair to the next within that category. So a step up, same concept, okay, palm dipped nitrile foam, so spongier foam injected in there. This is what we call a fake foam. So it really, what it does is it has a little bit of bubbles in there, but not a whole heck of a lot. Some foam actually is breathable. In this particular case, this foam is not. That's why we call it fake foam. It does have the nylon backing, so nylon having the good memory and the good breathability. It is a higher end glove, runs about $1.30 a pair. Retail with the tag, so it's good for the retailers, and available in the whole range of sizes, extra small right to double extra large. It is probably our most popular selling nitrile palm glove at this point in time. So moving on to a technology which is actually patented by our supplier, and there is a Chinese version of it, a Chinema version of it that we can call it, and they don't have the patent, but the company we do business with has the patent. This is a PVC foam. So we take, again, a nylon base, but in a heavier gauge. This is a bit of a thicker gauge nylon, so it gives it some body, it gives it some great memory, and some decent breathability. And you put a PVC foam palm onto it. The key feature for this particular one is that it is the best wet grip in the industry by far. So if you have a wet application and you need a good grip, whether it be oily or greasy or water, whatever the case may be, the PVC foam is the best option in the industry for that particular purpose. The durability of the glove is excellent. The grip is excellent. The value of this glove, it's more expensive. It runs closer to $2.25 to $2.25 a pair. But the added features of that grip has made it into one of the best gardening gloves, for instance, in the industry. The people love it in and around the Quebec market because of its durability and its grip. We sell a ton of this product. We carry a full range of this product from size extra small to double extra large, and it makes for an excellent product for printing as well. Private labeling is well known in this particular glove. If you have a company that likes to put their name on really, really high quality stuff, that is a perfect choice for them. So now we get into some of our fully dipped options which become waterproof. Here you have a nitrile-based petroleum resistant product. So nitrile, again, resists the chemicals, petroleum-based, the hydrocarbons. This is a easy slip on and off, so if their hands are contaminated, they can slip them off very, very quickly with a cuff. There's no lining in it, and it offers protection right up to the wrist and with an easy slip on and off. So kind of a heavy-duty glove. We see this glove used a great deal in bricklaying. Guys who are dealing with high abrasion, they love this glove. And think about a guy who's working in brick and in mortar, so cement and things like that. They want to be able to protect their hands from the chemicals in the cement, and at the same time handle a brick, which is very abrasive. This is a popular glove to keeping your hands dry and at the same time not wearing through the glove quickly. And it's not expensive. You're looking at well under $2 a pair for this kind of a product. We're very popular. Same idea here, except it's 3/4 dip and knit wrist. So again, the chemical resistance of nitrile just gives you more of a closed wrist so that whatever you're dealing with does not fall into your hand. It'll form to your hand a little bit better. It won't be as easy on off. And at the same time, because it's 3/4 dipped, it'll breathe a little bit more so that your hands won't get as sweaty as with the fully dipped version of it. So again, this is the fully dipped cuff version is only available in one size. This one, however, is available in sizes small through extra large. So it's meant for a little bit more high dexterity, a little bit more form fitting to the hand. The next glove is our double dip nitrile glove. So you have an impermeable glove that is made from nitrile, form fitting to the hand, very, very high end in terms of its durability, and the key feature behind this glove is the fact that it's double dipped in foam nitrile. This particular foam nitrile, the formula that is used here, actually changes a little bit when it gets oily and greasy, to the point where it'll actually grip better when it's oily and greasy because of the fact that the formulation of the foam reacts with the oil and grease and creates a little bit more adhesion. So a really different glove, something that's a little bit more expensive, runs just under $5 a pair. But if you're dealing in an oily and greasy environment, this is the glove for you. It's available in sizes small through large through double extra large, and very form-fitting, high dexterity, anti-slip grip like none other in the oily and grease application. So the next glove is new technology that's come out in the last 10 years and made a really big impact in the industry. This is what we call an anti-cut glove, and it is made from, the knit is made from fibers which are equivalent to the brand name Dyneema. So we call it HPPT. I'm not sure what that stands for. It's an acronym for something very, very long. But the brand name you see out in the marketplace, I'm sure you hear about it, is called Dyneema. Dyneema's claim is that it's 100 times stronger than steel. So in making a glove out of this, in these small little microfibers, they're able to create a glove that when a knife is run across it will not cut, at least to a certain degree. And there are different degrees of cut resistance. In this particular case, on a scale of 1 to 5, this is a level 5 in not the European test in ANSI, but the EN testing, which is the most popular one in North America at this point in time. It is as high a level as you're going to get. So the knit is cut resistant right throughout the hand, not just in the palm, but right throughout the hand. It's the knit portion of it that creates that anti-cut properties. And then we've dipped it in polyurethane in order to allow it to have some grip. So again, a breathable polyurethane, not necessarily a very durable palm in terms of its abrasion resistant, but added features, high dexterity and breathability, kind of a nice item. And on top of it, this manufacturer also produces it being sanitized. So again, your hands won't smell like your feet after you use this glove. It is sanitized, it is antibacterial, so that you're not going to get those odors.
Now, while it is cut proof, I want to clarify two things. First of all, it is cut resistant. It is not against any type of cut. It's also not puncture resistant. There is a difference between cut resistant and puncture. So puncture means if you were to stab at it directly with something, it wouldn't hold up necessarily the same way. And last but not least, this is very important, never under any circumstances demonstrate the cut resistance to any of your clients by grabbing a knife and cutting it through.
With your hand in it.
With your hand in it. Now, while it is cut resistant,
yes.
It's important that you do not try this. This is meant as a last source of defense. Obviously, it does not take over being cautious and avoiding the cuts altogether, but it is meant as a last source of defense.
So,
a lot of times we see this in in the glass industry. So, for example, if you get shattered glass, and I'm not talking about the one that you have on your cars that becomes cubed or whatnot. I'm talking about actual shattered glass. A lot of the employees will use this to pick up the glass because it'll give them the protection against cuts from these sharp edges of glass. So that's one of the reasons and one of the uses that a glove such as this one is used for.
Another purpose for this glove is, you'll see it more and more in warehousing, where they're using box cutters on a regular basis to pack boxes and unpack boxes and put it onto their shelves. The employees are wearing this glove to prevent the box cutters from cutting their hands, and that it is a very effective tool. You can take a box cutter and cut on a surface, a hard surface, and do this, and you do just a regular with a little bit of pressure, you'll see that it will not cut. It will eventually cut if you continue to and you put a lot of pressure. Understand it is cut resistant. But if you have it down on the ground without your hand on it, of course, and do this as a demonstration, you will notice that it will not cut very easily. So this is a cut level 5 glove. We have another ANSI cut 5. There's two different cut resistant testing services. ANSI is the tougher test of the two. EN is the one that this one's tested by, so this is an EN5. This is an ANSI 5. The difference here is that it's made of different components. So instead of being a Dyneema or HPPT, this one is an aramid material. Aramid being the same product that Kevlar is made of. So while we can't use the word Kevlar, it is, for your purposes of understanding it, a Kevlar-based product, which is our brand name, not brand name, but named Aramid. So the knit is Aramid. Again, it's 360 degree cut resistant, a higher level than even the other one that we just talked about. But we've added the extra feature of PVC foam. Remember, we talked about PVC foam with the previous glove that we used, considered to be one of our best gloves. If you put your name on that glove, it's the best there is. Well, here we have a PVC foam on a cut resistant glove. So Aramid, PVC foam, two components which make up a really, really nice product. So part of the reason why we went with Aramid is, number one, Aramid tends to be more comfortable than, it's more of a cloth-like feel than the HPPT version of it. So Aramid gives you the comfort, the PVC foam gives you the anti-slip properties, so the best dip that we consider in the industry in wet applications. So here you have a glove that in any kind of a wet application, it will give you the best grip and it will give you the best cut resistance there is in the industry, because this is an ANSI 5. And plus we have the added feature of the sanitization, again, so your hands do not smell like your feet. It is retail priced as well. And Danny, if you can grab that green glove, the gray glove one more time. There's one thing I forgot to mention about this glove. In terms of its comfort level, one of the things that we've done here, or our supplier has done, is when they knitted this glove, they've taken the Dyneema portion of it and put that on the outside of the glove, which is uncomfortable on the hand, and put the nylon portion on the inside. So there's almost like a layer of nylon on the inside with the cut resistance on the outside, which adds the comfort to this glove, which is something that no one else I know of has at this point in time. So that added feature is really nice, because that Dyneema against the skin can be really, really uncomfortable, and we avoid that with that particular item. So two more items in a glove line. This one, chemical resistant nitrile, we call it unsupported in that there's no knit to this whatsoever. It's basically a single dip with, like a dishwashing style glove. You basically have your hands right up against the material, and it has the chemical resistance of nitrile. So again, petroleum-based products, hydrocarbons, things like that. Certain chemicals resist nitrile better than others. So it has an anti-slip finish in the palm and at the fingertips to be able to grip wet objects. And very economical glove, runs just over $1 a pair, and will resist certain chemicals based on the chemical resistance chart we talked about before. Again, refer to that chart before making recommendations depending on the chemicals. So another dip glove, basically PVC, polyvinyl chloride, again has certain properties which are chemical resistance. This particular glove is one of the higher ends in the industry because it's super flexible compared to some that come out of China. The durability and flexibility of it is better than most, and from a value point of view, it's not very expensive.
But it's also a lot thicker than
Yes.
the previous glove would be.
Yeah, it offers a lot more of a abrasion resistance as well as maybe more of an impact resistance as well for that reason. So, again, chemical resistance charts are important. Any of these fully dipped waterproof gloves or chemical proof gloves, you need to qualify what chemicals work best with some, and we can talk about that as you get occasion to discuss that with your clients. We can identify what's good for their application.
So this concludes our training with gloves. Combined with all the previous trainings which you've had a chance to listen to, you have now a full view of all the gloves that we offer. Again, we know there's a lot of them. The idea here is to go to your local showroom, try on the gloves, every single one of them. Try them on, get your feeling, consult with your managers so that you feel comfortable in presenting this glove, and the only way you'll do so is by knowing the glove and feeling it for yourselves. And if you have any questions, as always, we're all available. Thank you.
Thank you.